when we talk about school choice. A bona fide move is made in the school's district. That means that you moved from one address to another address that's in that school's district. Now, let me talk about this for a few minutes. I'm not going to sugarcoat this any. We have a number of students who are transferring to various schools. And for us, it's no secret that one of the reasons for transferring is athletics. That's the reason. And we know that sometimes you know the rules better than we do in terms of how to transfer. I get calls all the time about how can I get my kid from the school they're in to this other school across town. And I don't tell you how to do that. Because what I'm doing is, well, I take that back. I give you the rules. I give you the rules. And when you, for an example, give us an apartment address in that school zone, and you say that's where you live, you are now putting the school in jeopardy. Let me tell you how. We actually have people on staff now, when we need them, they go out and they check addresses. That's what his job is, to make sure that the student is staying at that address. Now, the only time that we're going to do that is when we get a report. That's the only time we're going to do it, is when someone reports you. And trust me, there are those who report those who attempt to do this kind of thing. So when we talk about a bona fide move, make sure that you are moving into that district, because as I said before, if you are there just for the purpose of getting your child in that school, and it is determined that you are not legally staying at a particular address, and that child has participated at whatever level we find out. Let's say that school has played 8 games and won all 8 of them, and your child played in all 8 games. They're going to lose all 8 of those games because of that one child, once it's reported to the state. And then the school is going to be fined on top of that. The school is going to be fined. So if you are going to make the decision about moving, then do it the right way. If you're going to move, because you never know when that report comes in and we find out that you're not legally living in that place. And so please be careful with that. Change in custody. Here's another thing. If you decide that you're going to give custody to someone else, to a grandparent who lives in a particular zone that you want your child to attend, that custody, that change in custody can only be given by a superior court judge. It can't be given by a lawyer. It can't be given by a lower court judge. It must be a superior court judge who does that. Okay, and that's one of the ways to move a child from one school to another, through the courts. There is something that's new now, just came out this year. It's called fictitious kin. That's what it's called. What it basically means that you can pretty much give custody to anyone. That's what it means. It can be a friend. It can be pretty much anyone you can give custody to. Now, here's the thing about all of these moves. All right? If they are made for athletic reasons, just make sure that you know that you are covered. All right? This last one here, I hate to tell you about it tonight. I really hate it too, because now some of you are going to start looking for friends in all the wrong places. But it is one of the rules that we have to abide by and look at and determine if we're going to allow a child to go from one school to another. Now, when there are moves within our county, Dr. Kenneth Bradshaw, who is the deputy superintendent, is the one who's going to approve or deny those moves. So just because you request one of these moves doesn't mean that you're going to get it. Okay? Let's move to another one where we talk about choice, AYP, and zone exception. And this is basically what we are talking about here, because parents now have these options. Okay, parents have these options. But why do you have these options? What's the reason? It's academic reasons, not athletic reasons. All of these exceptions are supposed to be granted for academic or sometimes other extenuating circumstances. For an example, a child may be having problems with a group of kids at a school and just can't get that solved, and it might be best to move that child to another school. That may be one of the reasons. So all may not be academic reasons, but for the most part, these exceptions, choice, AYP, and zone exception, are for academic reasons. But we know that many of you are using them for athletic reasons. Okay, you're using them for athletic reasons. So keep that in mind. I have it underlined there, I'm sorry. Eligibility is not included. When you apply for one of these, eligibility is not included. So what does that mean? That means if you are granted choice, AYP, or zone exception, at the high school level, your child becomes what is called a migrant student if they are granted eligibility. What we mean by a migrant student, they are not eligible for athletics for 1 year. Now there are exceptions. The coaches can take the child hardship. That's through the Georgia High School Association. If the Georgia High School Association approves it, then the child becomes eligible. So what I'm telling you is you're taking a chance. The only area that child would be able to participate at the high school level is junior varsity. They would not be eligible at the varsity level unless they are taking hardship. When you take a child hardship, you take a chance. You better have a good reason when you go to Thomaston requesting hardship, because that's what you have to do. You have to go before a committee, the child, the parent, and one coach. You have to go down there and prove to them that your move is legitimate. And if the reason is not good, they're going to deny, and your child is now stuck at that school, and at least for 1 year will not be able to participate in varsity athletics. They will be at the JV level, but not varsity. So what are some of our schools doing? What are some of these schools around here doing? They are recruiting. I'm gonna wait till I get to recruiting. Okay, let's move on. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Risk management for coaches, athletes, and parents. Every year we require all of our coaches to attend a meeting like this, and we give them all of the rules and what have you, what is legal, what is not legal, and so forth. And we ask those coaches to share those things with you. Now some coaches probably do, some of your coaches probably never heard of it, haven't you? But we ask them to share those things with you. All right. Those things include supervision, safety, moral and professional conduct, finances, proper instruction, and injury management, and we'll talk about those in a few minutes. Okay.